Illinois Congressman Aaron Schock has resigned from office following weeks of intense scrutiny of his use of taxpayer dollars. In a statement, Schock said the decision came with a heavy heart, but that, quote, the constant questions over the last 6 weeks have proven a great distraction that has made it too difficult for me to serve the people of the 18th District with the high standards that they deserve and which I have set for myself. Schock is likely referring to an article that appeared on the website Politico Monday. It raised questions about tens of thousands of dollars in federal reimbursements Schock received for his personal car. Nancy Cortez joins us now via phone from Capitol Hill with the very latest. Nancy, thanks for joining us.
Sure thing, Meg.
So we know a little bit about the article, but break it down for us, and what exactly is he facing?
Well, basically, there's been a steady stream of reports ever since it was first revealed about 6 weeks ago that a decorator had redone his office in the style of Downton Abbey. She said she did it for free, which is a violation, and he agreed to pay her back. But that was really just the tip of the iceberg, it turned out. And ever since then, there's just been this steady drumbeat of reporting on questionable spending by Schock on all kinds of things, chartered jets and concert tickets and group dinners and massages, and the possibility that he may have gotten a couple of sweetheart deals on private real estate transactions from a couple of donors. So, it was just bad. He had to hire a couple of lawyers of his own to start looking through his own reimbursements. And then, as you mentioned, Politico questioned him yesterday about reimbursements that he got for gas mileage for driving his own car, which, by the way, was also paid for by taxpayer dollars. And he had gotten reimbursed for about 170,000 miles between 2010 and 2014. Well, guess what? When he sold that SUV in 2014, it only had 80,000 miles on the odometer. So he was essentially charging the federal government for twice as many miles as the car had on it. So whether or not this was the final straw and prompted him to resign, or whether his own lawyers were telling him that he should do this, we don't know. And we can't ask him because I went over to his office a short time ago and asked to speak with him. They said he's not there and that they actually don't know where he is.
Nancy, when it comes to spending, as you know, there's such strict protocol about this in Washington. How shocking is this type of behavior?
It's pretty outside the norm. And what is also unusual is that he really chronicled his lavish lifestyle himself on his Instagram account. He had these very professional photos of himself in all kinds of exotic locations, doing the tango in Argentina and whitewater rafting in the Andes and surfing in Hawaii, partying with different celebrities like Ariana Grande. And ironically, that helped reporters follow the money because they were sort of able to match up the dates when he was in all these locales with how he said he was spending the money, and sometimes it didn't match up. For example, one report uncovered the fact that he had flown to a Chicago Bears game one weekend on a private jet of a friend, but when he reported it as software. Well, the software company owner who supplied the private jet said, no, he was just paying for the use of the jet, and I've never sold him any software. So it was things like that that were starting to rack up and look increasingly bad for the congressman.
Nancy, we just got this in from John Boehner, and, quote, with this decision, Representative Schock has put the best interests of his constituents in the House first. I appreciate Aaron's years of service, and I wish him well in the future. Realistically, what type of impact will this have on Congress going forward?
Well, he was sort of a rising star in the Republican Party, and he was also a great fundraiser for the Republican Party. So it is a bit of an embarrassment for the GOP. It's probably a reminder to many members of Congress about, what the rules are. I'm sure he's not the only person who has spent some money in ways that he shouldn't. But after the Downton Abbey office came to light and people started to think about that Instagram account and the glamorous lifestyle he was leading, he kind of made himself a bit of a target. And Senator Dick Durbin, who is also from Illinois, told us that the resignation came as a surprise to him, but that the allegations against him are serious and suggest that he misused not just campaign funds, but also office funds as well. And now that he's resigned, the ethics investigation in the House will go away, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't possibly face some kind of criminal investigation at some point. Certainly the feds haven't indicated that, so I don't want to get ahead of that, but he's not the only Illinois congressman to be saddled with something like this. You might recall that Jesse Jackson Jr. Has gone to prison for inappropriately using campaign funds. I think at the end of the day it was something like $750,000 worth of funds that he spent on personal items for his home and for his wife. And so from time to time, members of Congress can be prosecuted if law enforcement officials believe that the case is serious enough.
All right, Nancy Cordes for us. Thank you so much.